Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel Lone Warfare. Today we're going to be fitting this adventure toolbox to my GS1250. So if that's interest here, stay tuned. So you probably wonder yourself, why are you fitting a toolbox to your GS when you've got top box, etc. Well, basically when I go away, weekends or stuff like that, I tend to fill the top box full of certain items. I carry a roll bag, which I use, and I have a large tank bag, big give you one that I use. I don't need any panniers. You can see there's no pannier racks on here. I've never been a pannier man, to be honest, and I've never really gone with them. I did have some on one of my GS's, but I only used them once, and it never was me. So I much prefer the roll bag, the top box, and the give you tank bag. But obviously, I carry a few tools. I know some people do, some people don't. I do. I've got the compressor, tyre repair kit, a few spanners for bits and bobs. I know you can't do a lot when you're on the move, but there's always something that might just come a bit loose, so just tighten it up. Anyway, because of that, they take up quite a bit of room in my top box. So I thought what I'll do is I'll fit the toolbox. So this is the toolbox, as you can see. It's come from our friends at China. It's an AliExpress one. It was just, I think it was about £60 or just under, which is less than half the price of our friends from Wunderlich. But being a pensioner, I really can't afford that sort of the money to do the job I wanted to do. I don't go off-road or anything like that, because I did hear that these probably are not as robust as the proper Wunderlich one. And therefore, if you're going off-road, they might not take so much of a pounding. But it's a decent little construction, as you can see, and it'll do the job for what I wanted to do. So basically, what we're going to do is you're going to fit it. I'll show you the tools that you're going to use to fit it with. It's quite easy assembly. It works in a few parts. I think what we're going to do is we're going to take the seat off. There's some brackets that bolt here and bring it down here. They just slide into this side here, and then it just clips on the back here. So basically it should be quite straightforward. We'll see, shall we? Okay then, so these are all the bits and bobs that you need to do it with. There's obviously the torques to get the footrest, loosen the footrest off. Then there's an Allen key and a 10mm spanner, plus all the nuts and bolts. Everything comes in the pack, and the brackets, etc. Shouldn't be that difficult of a job to do. Instructions with it as well. So we'll see how we get on. Stop. So the first thing we've got to do is remove the seat. Like that. And then I believe these two brackets then fit in there like so. So I'll just bolt them in. We use the Torx T40 to loosen off these bolts. Okay, well I've put these two brackets on, but I've left them loose because obviously this section now has to fit in here like that. So I've got to loosen this, the footrest mounting plate, drop that down. That slips on there, and there's also a collar that comes with this that fits in there to make that a uniform depth. So it's the same thick as that, fits in there, so that's going to go on there. So again, we use the T40 to loosen this off, and then we'll slide this on here. So I'll drop this off. Right folks, as you can see, I've slacked that off. This one wants to come a little bit more. It's quite awkward, this is. Maybe just me with the tools I've got. My torque wrench being a bit big, but it was quite difficult to get it off as easy as you think. You know what I mean? Let's get these two brackets. They have to fit on there like that. So give it the screws and the bolts and that. So we just pop them on there, and then that will give us the anchorage to fit to that. So, not wasting your time, I'll pop these on and then I'll come back to you. Folks, well, I've got them on, but I have to admit it was quite a struggle getting tiny hands to get right down to here to put the Allen keys in, to get it through. It can be done, but anybody with bigger hands than these, I think, struggle, got to get your arm right in. But anyway, that's going to be like that, and that is now going to match up like that, he says. So we're going to have to do a bit of jiggery pokery to slide one back for the other. So I'll slide this in place, put a couple of bolts in so as you can see what it's like, and then I'll come back to you. Right folks, well that appears to be it. Quite how strong it's going to be, I do not know. I can see why they're saying if you're going to go off-road, this probably wouldn't be so suitable, because it's held on by basically 2 bolts, end of story. But it seems okay. I mean, it's loose at the minute because I haven't tightened everything up, but I will tighten everything up now it's all in place. Couple of tips: when you put that one in, it does tend to slide out, so what I did is put a bit of grease on it and use the grease to hold it in while I was positioning everything. As I say, you need tiny hands to get in there to get the nuts and bolts into there and lock them off. Final thing to do is to put the 4 plugs on the outside, because obviously it can go left or right side. So I'll get some silicone them, just drop the 4 plugs in there, and that should be it. So I'll tighten it up and then I'll come back to you. So okay folks, that's it done. Definitely you want to put some silicone on these, because they'll just pop out. They're supposed to be like a push tight fit where they push through and it pulls back, but I couldn't see that being very successful. So you definitely want some silicone on that. These torque, remember to torque these up to the right torque settings. I've been on the web and checked, torqued them up myself with my torque wrench, and the 2 top ones here, obviously the same. How secure it is, I don't know, but for what it costs, I think it'll do the job. And if you come round here and have a look, this side, it's quite decent, I think. Because, as I say, I can get, it leaves me a chance now to use the top box for something other than, I like the idea of that hanging on there, so as you don't going to lose it and drop it on the floor. And if you come around here and have a look, I don't know if you can get quiet and have a look. It's a fairly deep. There's quite a bit in there. Now I'm just going to get my tools now. There's a fair bit of room in there. I mean, I'm probably being a bit overzealous here with trying to get all my stuff in, but it does free up quite a bit of space in my top box. I think that's going to have to be wrapped up in something like that to stop it rattling, because I don't know about you, rattling does my head in. So I think that will slide in there, says he. Whether it ever comes out again or not, I don't know. It will actually go in quite comfortably. It's just a case of getting it wrapped in the right way, because I don't want it to tinkle and bang and make any sort of noise. So we can slide that in, which is my compressor. You'd be lost without the compressor, wouldn't you? Slide the compressor back there. This plugs into me fitting in there if I need to blow a tyre up. As I said before, and I think I did a puncher, I don't want to put one online. The problem with doing a puncher with the CO2 bottles is when you come to need them, they've gone off. I'll put this in, which is a different valve if you can't get it in. Some fuses, always keep some fuses. This is what I tend to take with me. It's a lot more than you need. I know cable ties are always a good thing. A couple of spanners. In here's me dyno plug and some other bits and bobs for repairing punches. I had one in the back either the week. I think I told you in the surprise job, and that was a pain, but that did it. And then what else can we get in? Important little text key, X Torx keys. Always put in this little socket. If I can get these in, these two spanners, because these are deadly for your mirrors, because your mirrors forever coming loose. This little socket as well is good for any of the stuff that's around the top of the fairings. Pressure gauge. Knife. This type, it's for sealing when you've got any water, petrol leaks or anything like that. I don't know what they're called now, some sort of denser type. You peel it back off, fit it round, and it seals everything. Put that in. If I can get my tiny little pair of pliers in, I will. A screwdriver and the Allen key. And that would be the last, I think. There's no more room. I can't get the kitchen sink in there. But I think I've done all right with that. And I think that will do me. So if we put that back there like that now. Put that in. This is that in there like that. And that's it. Job done. Cable ties, I can drop them into my tank bag, because I always carry a tank bag. But other than that, it's all right. I'm quite happy with that. And for the money, it'll do the job. Anyway, I'm freezing now because I'm doing it outside. So, it's the Lone Wolf saying bye for now. Hope you enjoyed the few tips. It is a bit more tricky than you think, getting your fingers in and all this, that and the other. It's quite a 5-minute job as I thought it would be. But anyway, it's Lone Wolf going to say bye for now. Remember, be careful out there. Oh, and don't forget, give us a subscribe and a like and a tick. Put your comments in. I'm sure there'll be quite a few comments after this little one that I've just done. So don't forget, give us a like and a subscribe. Until the next time, remember, be careful out there. It's Lone Wolf. Bye for now.